Prepare yourself. It's very weird.
T3 Media.
Hey everybody, it's Chris with Talking Through the Media. It's here, your home for entertainment news and reviews for fans by fans. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and you can also become a member by supporting us on Patreon or just become a member right here on YouTube. It really does help us out. So I am here with a new guest to the channel. You were used to seeing me with Amy Newman, but for some reason, we had our technical difficulties on Wednesday, as a lot of you let me know about that. So helping me out today on a Friday afternoon is, I told you about this. I said this on the show. It's Amanda Wilson. She thought I was going to introduce her and I messed it all up. Hey, Amanda.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I am good. How are you?
Outstanding. I had to throw it in at the last second. What I did was with me and Amy, we actually were able to get the We Got Your Mail and We Got Your Vote portion of the live show that we do on Wednesday. And we got that done after we realized that the main show was not usable. And during the live show, we got that question that you submitted in for us. And I appreciate you for that. Thanks a lot, because we love getting more actual questions to answer instead of just comments and statements. I love getting anything you guys want to contribute. That's great, but I really would appreciate if more question marks, at the end of those statements.
Yeah, sometimes people just say stuff at you.
Yeah. Do you get that a lot on your end?
Sometimes. Yeah, it happens sometimes for sure.
And so I asked everybody, hey, could you just submit a question or two? And then when we came across your question, I let everybody know. Be prepared, guys. As I always say, prepare yourself at all times. I know a lot about a little about a lot of things, but what Amanda knows will shock you. I'm telling you. So prepare yourself. She's like, what?
You're hyping it up so much. I know.
Between me and Amanda, we know everything in the universe there is to know. So if you come up to me and you go, hey, what's 10 billion times a trillion? I'll be like, oh, that's something Amanda would know. Go ask her. So that's on
Mary Had a Little Lamb.
That's how I do it. That's how I do it. But guys, you know what it is. You know how we do it over here. What we go through. We jumbled across a couple of main topics of the week. I listed them out for Wednesday. I was going to try to hurry up and I probably still might just go through what's trending right now and talk about some more relevant things. But I want to at least go through the show that was meant to air on Wednesday and get that out of the way, since all you heard from me was just for an hour, no less.
Oh,
that is. Go ahead.
I feel that pain in my heart because I have lost so many recordings from like dumb mistakes or not knowing what I was doing, and it's like you never get it back.
I mean, not only was I having a bad hair day, which I know you know nothing about. Look at that. Look at that salon selective. I was just making fun of that. Just let it shine through.
Yeah,
So it was just one thing that led to another, and I thought the whole show was going to go perfect, and I guess my human error just kicked in, and it happened. So sorry about that, guys, but I'm going to run through those topics. Like I said, we usually pick the 3 topics of the week that you guys want us to talk about. You guys did pick these out, so if you don't like the topics I'm about to talk about, hey,
thank yourself.
It's democracy, okay? This is a democracy. So I'm going to run through them real quick. So like you guys already know, I'm going to read through the topics. Me and Amanda, we're going to talk about it, just give our thoughts, our concerns, our 2 cents, whatever that's worth on them. And we'll share it with you guys. And then if you guys want to also, you want to chime in during the live chat or after the show, maybe we'll talk about what you guys think on We Got Your Mail. So put it in the box and let's just keep talking. So let me get to the first topic of... First, let me stall because I'm not used to reading them all out. So you're gonna see me go a lot, or hear me go a lot, maybe. So.
This is like an open mic. We're very supportive. We'll clap no matter what you do. It's fine.
Sure you will. Yeah, she says that now, but then
no, like a real open mic. We'll clap and then talk shit afterwards. It's fine.
All right, let's see if I can get this going. There we go. All right, topic number 1. So, from the WWE.com, this past Sunday, the WWE's Royal Rumble electrified its universe with the surprising and well-deserved victories of the Rated R Superstar Edge and in the Men's Royal Rumble, and Bianca Belair winning the Women's Rumble. There has been growing support for the World Wrestling Entertainment to feature more intergender matches. When the WWE enters its PG era, the chances to incorporate more of these types of matches have not happened. But since the women's revolution, there are calls to incorporate more intergender matches. Most people who are against the idea stated things like the size difference between men and women and obvious things like that, where other people brought up facts about how people who are men that are also small in size face off against giants all the time. So why not, right? So the WWE has had much success with intergender matches in the past, and there are lots of calls for the WWE Superstars to make this a key feature into the show. So Amanda, what are your thoughts about intergender matches in the WWE? If you even watch wrestling.
Okay, no, listen, let me tell you, I was watching that and I was thinking, damn, Edge still looks kind of good, because I grew up watching wrestling. I haven't watched it really in a long time, but I still know like some of the main characters. But my first instinct as a feminist is like, hell yeah, they should do whatever they want to. But then I'm also like, but is this porn for like people who are into domestic violence? I don't know. Like, I don't. But
from feelings. On which side is this porn for? Is this porn for women who want to see women beat the out of men? And I censored myself on purpose because we try to make this a PG kind of a thing. But just to let you know, I know it's your first time on the show. There is an after dark version where we just let it all rip. But for the main three topics, okay. I try to keep it PG as I can. But go ahead.
But yeah, it just I don't know. I'm very torn because I want to say, do whatever you want to do, kick those boys' butts, live your life.
Let your freak flag fly.
Yes, I know. I'm like, put that hair in a high pony and kick all those boys' butts. But then also I'm like, I don't know. I mean, is the Big Show going to be slamming like a 5'2" girl? I don't know if I want to see that.
I mean, it's happened before. Every so often they'll do something, make a joke out of it and whatnot. But I guess now the question is, do we want to see the most popular top 10, top 20 female wrestlers facing off against the most popular guys? Or
I wonder what drove it. Were the fans asking for this, or was this just something creatively that they started doing? There's
a organization. I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I don't believe that Impact Wrestling is owned by Vince McMahon. They're in direct competition with him. There's another organization called Impact Wrestling that this is a part of their demographic. That's what they do. It's in the show. They'll have men versus men, they'll have women versus women, and they'll have intergender matches. And they act like it's not even a thing. Like from what I can tell, they do it as if it's been done for a century. And it's just because this is how I see it. I mean, this is what I feel that WWE has kind of done in the past. It all depends on the popularity of the person. Because you will have the, what's his name? Rey Mysterio. Like I said, he's like 5 feet tall. You're not going to convince me that he can beat the Big Show. But he does. He has. He's been the champion.
Sin Cara. He's really little too, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And if their popularity is at a certain level, then the fans are cheering them on, and if they want it, eventually it gets written into the storyline. So I think that's the way to handle it. And what's her name? Becky Lynch. Ever since she became the face, to me, Becky Lynch is the face of the company. It's usually a male wrestler, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, things like that. But Becky Lynch, ever since she adopted her tagline, Becky Lynch. That's what her t-shirt says. The man. She's the man. And I feel like that was the perfect time to incorporate intergender matches, because she'll get in a man's face, she'll get in a woman. She doesn't care. And I think that was where and she's the most popular wrestler right now. So nobody would bat an eye at seeing her defeat the Big Show, because she's the man. What was
that lady from a long time ago? Was it like May or something?
There's May.
May Young. Was that somebody?
There's Beth
was she
Phoenix.
Fighting men?
Was if is Mae Young the lady that I'm thinking about that was a legend that recently passed away? Mae Young
I think so. I think she passed away like within the last few years.
Yeah, that's she was one of the original female wrestlers. But no, she never fought against guys, but she did a lot of storylines and like when in her elder years, she did a lot of funny things and jokey kind of storylines with the male wrestlers. But you might be thinking of the women who have faced men. There has been China. China. She was the Intercontinental Champion at one point, and defeated a man to do it. That I don't know what that match. People loved it, and it was.
Who did she beat?
Double J Jeff Jarrett at the time. That was that funny story when his contract. I read that book because I bought and I read China's book. His contract was up the day before that match was supposed to happen, and he told Vince McMahon, "Give me $250,000 and I'll go out there. If you don't, I'm not showing up." Because he didn't have to. Vince had to pay him. He went out there. He did his job. She became the first female Intercontinental Champion, and then Double J took his $250,000 and got blacklisted from the WWE for life. So was it worth it? Was it worth it? But I felt like it made sense because her popularity at the time made it make sense. So, and I guess I'm getting excited. I'm talking about a subject that I don't get to talk about a lot.
But China was such a bit was so amazing. Like she was the first one that came out and wasn't like really trying to be. She was sexy, but that wasn't her thing. Was I'm sexy? She's like I'm strong. That was her main thing. Yeah, and that was during the time. And she would just go in there and plow everybody over, like.
And it made sense. And she was believable. Her skills level was was right there where the majority of the female wrestlers today are. She paved the way. I think she was like the blueprint. And I don't know if they ever did honor her and make her a legend. They say that because of the career path that she chose afterwards is what's keeping her from being honored. But it's undeniable what she did. If they wanted to do intergender matches a long time ago, they could have did it right after that. That was a success, and it seems like it's been it's about time. There's some female wrestlers in there that I would totally believe. Well, let me put it like this: each and every one of them, I don't care how big or how small they are, can all kick my ass any day of the week. Any day of the week. A trained fighter of any kind, and I mean, I know that professional wrestling has, whatever, it's theatrics and all that kind of stuff, but they're still doing really, really physical stuff for extended, the stuff that they can do, nobody on the street can do that. So when people talk trash, it's like they're physical actors, right. Yeah. Right. It's like, okay, yeah, you can fall down, but can you fall down properly and then get back up? Because
they're doing the acting and they're doing their own stunts.
They're stunt. Yeah, exactly. They're professional stunt people and actors at the same time. Exactly. And you have to coordinate this perfectly so you won't injure the next person.
It's a special talent because think how many stunt people in Hollywood do you know by name, and how many actors the actors who do their own stunts? It's like a big deal, and these people, that is what they do all the time.
Right. I just realized. See, I've already missed. I'm so involved in the conversation. I didn't realize that the camera was on me the whole time. I'm glad I wasn't like doing anything crazy.
I see, because on my screen I could still see myself little, so I didn't think about it.
Yeah, look at that screen. That changes a lot. That'll just let me know that I'm not that I'm not paying attention. So it's Friday, guys. It's almost a weekend.
Yeah, you got to give a break on Friday.
Yeah, I need a mental break. But you already can tell where I'm at. I'm okay with it. I feel like it just depends on the popularity of the character. I wouldn't bat an eye on who they beat. Do I believe that physically they could take on each and every person they're going to probably be matched with? Probably not, but it's not about that. I don't believe half of the men who defeat some of these other guys in these matches could really beat them in real life. I will still cheer because this is the person that I'm being told to cheer, and that guy or this woman has been going through this storyline. It's a soap opera. This is our soap opera. They've gone through all these trials and tribulations.
It's a stunt soap opera.
And now it's time for them to let's see how this story is going to end. Tell me a good story, and I'll be there with you guys. If that's my message to the WWE. Guys, let us know what you guys think. What do you think about this whole concept about intergender matches? What are your thoughts about Edge coming back to win the Rumble? I was there. I saw the year before that. I was at the Royal Rumble. I saw Edge come back. I screamed my head off. So I'm happy that he came back and to win one. And for Bianca, Belair? Bianca Belair. I don't know much about her, but from everything I've seen since last year, she's become one of my Bianca Belair. Look her up, Amanda. She can,
Bianca Belair.
Yeah, she can. Oh, she is something. She is somebody to watch. Now she's a very exciting wrestler, so I'm looking forward to.
Well,
her
like
too.
I said, I haven't watched in forever, but and so this is coming from somebody who is just a very casual observer, but like seeing Edge, I just remember when he like first came out in the 90s, and because I always loved Chris Jericho, and then Edge was like Chris Jericho Light that came out.
Yeah.
They look very similar, and they're both Canadian. They had the long blonde hair, like they were a little bit edgy, whatever. Like
it was a look that I wouldn't. You're right about that, because I think Chris Jericho came out just before Edge and Christian were starting to get more popular, but then Edge finally broke out and became his own guy, and through everything he's been through with his injury, his retirement, his comeback.
I always liked him, but they both had that kind of like rocker dude type of thing going on.
Oh yeah, he's a rated R superstar.
Yeah.
But let us know what you guys think about all that, because like I said before, put it in the box below and we'll talk about it some more, probably on We Got Your Mail. So let me move on to the next topic of the week. One of the topics here. It was this is one of my favorites. If you guys did not know, oh wait a minute, I already did something wrong. Something got moved around. Where was it? What was the next topic? It was this. Here we go. Okay, if you guys Noah Centineo, if I'm saying that right, is heading to Wall Street. The 24-year-old actor is set to star in an upcoming Netflix movie focused on the surge in GameStop stock. People magazine confirmed. Oscar-winning screenwriter Mark Bowl, who wrote The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30, will write the screenplay, according to Deadline. The film will center on the ongoing battle between the hedge fund and the amateur Reddit traders who caused GameStop stock to skyrocket to more than 1,700% last week through investment apps like Robinhood. Last month, Redditors encouraged each other to buy stock in the beloved video game store, which drove up the price of the company's stock. The hedge fund companies were betting the stock would go down, but the regular investors' interest in the stock caused the price to surge up, meaning hedge funds lost billions of dollars. The actor that will also star in this upcoming film also starred in Black Adam opposite Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and an upcoming Masters of the Universe film. So, Amanda,
yes,
what do you think about a movie based on this whole GameStop stock?
Is this okay? I have a question about, is this like the fastest they've made a movie about a real life event? Because I feel like Sully, who landed the plane in the Hudson, didn't even get a movie this quick.
Fast, right? That it was writing itself. I'm sure that some writer or some producer was just chomping at the I'm loving this. This is gonna make us so much money.
2 weeks old, and they've already got they're already going into production. So that's crazy.
Like Quiet on the Set, they're already there. They got the actors. It feels like it's just the writing part of it.
I was gonna say, I would worry about this turning into a Game of Thrones situation where the end hasn't been written yet, and you start filming, and then it goes all off.
And 2 years later, a more exciting ending would have probably a bunch of people go to jail or something like that, and it's like we saw a happy ending. From the movie.
You can't start the film before we know what the outcome is yet. I feel like this is still an evolving situation.
Well, that's what sequels are for. I mean, they might focus on this portion of it that just caused the uproar. The movie ends with a bunch of billionaires crying in their handkerchiefs, wondering why the universe wouldn't let them screw over another dying company like they're used to. Or then
I kind of
a sequel could come
imagine them shooting it like it would be like the what was that movie? The Facebook movie.
The people who made The Social Network. There's The Wolf of Wall Street. There is The Big Short. Those types of movies. I'm hoping it's like that.
If it was shot like that, I feel like I could get behind it more because it could go real cheesy real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me the funniest thing about this was how the regular, it says right there, the regular Joe Blow kind of stock investor was able to stick it to these billionaire guys who take
Yeah.
advantage of dying companies, literally like robbing from the rich and giving to the poor type of a situation. And they used an app called Robinhood to do it. And
Yeah,
the Robinhood people sided with the billionaires. They shut it down so they couldn't do it anymore to spare the billionaires, to save the billionaires. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
If they had like a Senate hearing about that or whatever, they need to order those people that they have to sit down and watch like the animated Robin Hood on repeat until they learn the moral of the story.
Exactly. Your app this is fal's advertising.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
you're robbing
You
from
need
the
to name this
poor.
something else.
Yeah, you're giving to the rich. Like what the hell? It's what's her name who ran for president? Elizabeth Warren. She's probably gonna be in this movie. Like, oh, I'm loving it. Oh no, the tears of billionaires. Oh.
I know. Are they going to get cameos from real players too?
Oh,
Because I like when they throw those people in the movie too.
I love it. I can just see mittened up Bernie Sanders, like,
Yeah.
serves you right. Just like he's trying to return soup in a deli. What the hell do you think this is? Taste my coffee. What the hell? But
okay, if it's the movie that we're imagining, I could get behind it.
but see, that's what people do. That's what people do. We write the movie in our head, right?
Yeah.
And
so when it's not the movie that we wrote, we're like,
we're all mad.
Yes.
Exactly. Has that ever happened to you? How many times have you written a movie in your mind and then not gotten what you wanted?
I'd say that happens a lot, but something that happens to me a lot, and this is why I have a problem watching movies. I love watching movies, but I hate when I'm already like, okay, I know every single thing that's going to happen, and that's exactly what I'm like. I'm just a layperson. If I could have wrote this movie, then it probably sucks. So
Right.
like,
no, I get it. I get what you mean. Yeah, it's
like I like a movie where I don't see things coming, or like the jokes are new, just like fresh ideas. But I feel like there's such a push to just get content out in general, and Hollywood has always been guilty of that. That there's a lot of stuff coming out, but it's not all very good, and there's so many things that are so predictable. I'm like, can we throw one curveball in here at all?
But you were right. Well, what you said earlier was spot on. That it's still, this whole thing is still unfolding. It's still writing itself. I would prefer, unless it's about the person who created the Robinhood app from the day he was born to when he invented the app until he got bullied by the billionaires to save him.
What's the focus of the movie? Just the whole thing overall, or is it specifically against Robinhood versus the investors?
It's just about that whole situation, about how the Reddit sweaty nerds is what I'm calling them. How the sweaties has just got super amped up.
And that's the other thing, like the cast, I'm like, who's gonna play the like quote unquote Reddit nerds? Because I'm like, if they cast all Napoleon Dynamites, like, come on, I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that.
Like, is this Noah Centineo guy? Is he gonna be like the?
I don't even know who that is. Who is that?
I've never. He's probably one of those actors that I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, but I couldn't tell you.
I know I'm so bad with actors' names. Like, unless it's like literally Morgan Freeman, I know their face, but their names escape me.
You're like, but you're not Morgan Freeman. What the?
I know. I'm like, are you Morgan Freeman? No, I don't.
It's let's see if I recognize this. Oh, I recognize this guy. He's okay. So Noah has been in. He's been in small things, like To All the Boys. That Netflix series was To All the Boys.
Oh yes, I didn't watch that, but I know what you're talking about.
The Perfect Date. What's something that's more popular? So he's been in a lot of like TV show things like that. He was in the Charlie's Angels movie, the newer one, but. I mean that's about it. But he's about to be an upcoming.
So he's up and coming.
He from what I can tell with his casting, he could be one of these Reddit guys. I'm pretty sure that's probably who he's gonna play. That's just by looking at him. If I was just to stereotype this guy, if I was to cast this guy, he's a nerd.
If I was to stereotype this dude,
he's all the way nerd. He's a sweaty nerd. Yeah, sweaty nerd number 3. That's him. But I do the same thing. I think the last time we all did it was with the Justice League movie. A lot of comic book nerds, movie fans like me, they really wrote the script in their head. It should Batman should do this, Superman should do that, blah blah blah. And then when we got what we got, a lot of people were disappointed in it. So I do the same thing. I try to not, make predictions. I just let trust the director. Hopefully they pitched to the producers a script that they could all get behind, and hopefully the image, the vision that they had was is displayed correctly. But and I'll judge it for whatever I get. That's what I've learned. I ever since people started judging like, oh, this movie is gonna suck because Heath Ledger is nothing like Jack Nicholson's Joker. And then what happened? He became one of the most beloved Jokers of all time. So we got to stop writing these movies before they come out. Let's see what happens. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, take it for what it is. Yeah, go in with an open mind.
Go in with an open mind, and then
But I do get it. Like when you have a fandom, when you're really, really into something, like you are invested in that and you want the story to be a good story. So when it's not, I get being very disappointed and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's like you're a fan of what these people make, not what you think it is. Like you actually like what these people are doing. So, you know, unless they're just completely driving it into the ground, like let the people work.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I think a football coach said something similar to that. If I listen to 100% what the fans always tell me to do, then I'll probably be sitting up there with them in the seats next year because I won't have a job anymore.
Oh, right, exactly.
So yeah, it's got to be my direction. I've got a plan. Let me execute it. If it works, it's great. If it works, great. But if it doesn't, then okay, we can learn from this lesson and move on. We want it to be good. I'm thinking more for this storyline, maybe something in the vein of the Big Short movie. That had Christian Bale in it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go a whole different direction. This could be a straight up serious drama for all we know. There could be some sad stories here we're not even aware of because we're so laser focused on what's going on the news. They might throw us a curveball and hit us with something hard hitting. So never know.
Well, when this all washes out, like to see who comes away with what and who lost what, and I mean, it's going to be an interesting story to tell for sure. I hopefully they'll do it justice. I mean, there are so many good movies like that, like The Wolf of Wall Street and all that kind of stuff, where they show they dramatize these already dramatic real life situations, and they usually do a pretty good job. Yeah.
But straight up, I mean, if you guys don't have a Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren cameo in there, that's gonna be a deal breaker for me.
We're going on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, mittened up Bernie returning soup in a deli. That's what I want. I
will be leaving online reviews if you don't have Bernie Sanders and Warren
with that mask on. You call this a hedge fund? No, look, I'm just saying. That's my Bernie impression, by the way. It was spot on. I know. But let us know what you guys think about that. And like I said, we'll talk about it. Put it in the box below, and we'll talk about it some more on possibly on We Got Your Mail. So let's go into the last topic, the main topic of the show, real quick. And
did you?
Yeah, it was. What do you think about that? The idea if Katherine Heigl were to have said what she said today, would she have still been labeled, difficult?
Well, what is she accused of? Because they just keep saying difficult, but what exactly was she saying?
When we first talked about this on Wednesday, when nobody could hear us, Amy reminded me of some of the things that went down in the early 2000s. This was like right after Grey's Anatomy, for example. Like, and my fiance told me about.
I remember she blew up. I mean, she was in
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, when she started doing movies, she was in every movie for like a 3-year chunk, and then I can't tell you the last time I saw her.
Exactly. So it was right after like Knocked Up. Like she was on an interview where she said something about like she didn't like her character, she didn't like the way it was being portrayed. But this is something that you would probably hear from an actor maybe 10, 15 years removed. She was saying this stuff like during the marketing of trying to promote this thing.
Right, and you agreed to do the movie, right? Like, it's not like they changed the character after you accepted it, so you can only complain so much about that, I think.
And I believe that was Seth Rogen's first, big breakout movie that put his name out there. This was the type of movies he was writing at the time. I mean, like Superbad and Knocked Up and whatnot. These were that was his niche. Mm-hmm. And again, like you said, you saw the script. So if you didn't, why'd you take the gig? And it propelled her to like what I read earlier, 27 Dresses and all these other movies. So,
yeah, because I never watched Grey's Anatomy, but I know her from all those movies. So that definitely was a launching pad. I'm pretty sure that was the first time I have ever seen her in a movie, and then I saw her in everything for a while after that. And I always liked her as an actress. Like, I thought she was good, but I feel like all things in entertainment, it's so crappy to say, but it's so true. It's like there's so many people who want your spot that if you are ungrateful at all, it's like they're ready to just usher you out and put somebody right in there because there's 45,000 other blonde people who want that role. Like,
Right.
so, which sucks if you actually are saying something that's legitimate and people don't listen to you. But if she was just trash talking roles that she was doing because she didn't think that they were up to par, I mean, I feel like then that's a problem for her manager, whoever's getting her these bookings, not trash the project that you did.
Right. I agree. And I was trying, as I try to do, I try to ride the fence and play both sides of it to do the devil's advocate thing. And I had to agree a little bit with what her husband said, that if this was something that she would have said just today, never said it back then this probably would have been nothing. If
Right.
this would have been one of those opportune times where if I don't want this to happen to, like, let's say if Seth Rogen was just in a recent scandal or something like that, and she said something like this, then I mean, you know, it would have been a whole different story. But that's in a situation if, like I said earlier, that if she would have made these comments today versus now that it's like 15 plus years
Yeah,
removed.
like looking back with wisdom on a situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why did I take that? I shouldn't have taken that character. Was probably not my favorite character. And that's fine to say when, you know, Seth has made all his money.
And I think that you should be growing. I think that it's totally normal to say, yeah, some of the stuff that I did when I first started my career, those aren't things that I would take now, because like even in comedy, there's shows that I did that I would never do now. And I'm not even a professional comedian, you know, like, so I get it. But at the same time.
Oh, you mean that Soul Glow commercial?
Listen, that hasn't come out yet. It's coming out on the Super Bowl. But you know what? I think that it's one thing to grow and look back on a situation and realize what you would have done different in the situation, rather than while you are literally on the promotion trail being like, yeah, this is crap.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, it's like, what do you think we're doing here? Right? You're under contract. We got to market this thing.
That's like a Pepsi CEO like going out to a restaurant and ordering nothing but Coke. It's like you have to be brand loyal for a certain, like,
read the room, CEO.
Exactly. Yeah. Where's your brand loyalty, Katherine?
Like, all of a sudden the Coke comes. Like, I've always hated Pepsi. That reminds me of
like that check's just too good to pass up.
That's
Coke.
Didn't Dave Chappelle say something like that on stage? He was like, I've done commercials for both Coke and Pepsi. So, but all I know is Pepsi just paid me most recently, so it tastes better. And that's how the game goes.
Right. And
that's how the game goes. But I mean, she was. I look back at it, and she was wilding out. She was saying some stuff.
And there are certain things that, like, you know, you can act up to a certain degree, but like if you tick off the certain people or if you tick them off in a certain way, it's like sometimes there's no coming back from it. You just get, unfortunately, your reputation precedes you, and it's like.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it a minute ago. You said like there's a lot of other ladies that fit the model that for that role that are ready to take his spot. Think about it from the perception of Black women. They have been saying this for decades about how the top, usually when there's a role that is either written for a Black woman or is being considered for a Black woman, there were, for the most part of it, there was like, what, 3 actresses that were only in consideration? Halle Berry and 2 others. Just Halle Berry.
Nia Long,
like Halle Berry. Yeah. I mean, how many? So they were Gabrielle Union. They were all constantly. Now I'm about to just go through a Rolodex of my favorite Black actresses.
Yeah, you can see their faces. There's like 7 to 10 Black actresses, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, and that would be it. Like
where I could name 10 blonde actresses off the top of my head.
Right,
like,
and there's exactly. So I mean, think about it from that point of view, and at the time, Seth he doesn't have the popularity and the power that he has today. This was back when what are you doing? Like it says early 2000s. Grey's Anatomy. It was probably mid 2000s because I didn't watch Grey's Anatomy when it first came out. My wife is a nurse and she loves Grey's Anatomy.
People are obsessed with that. People love that show.
Yeah, I just caught up to it like last year, but. I could see it then. I could tell from she was telling me this is the season where it's that transition. You can tell that this is when she said what she said, and now that she's kind of being written a little bit her scenes are getting far in between, and they're kind of throwing her character out of the way, because one of the things that she did was she got an Emmy, and then she griped about how she didn't feel like she deserved it because her character wasn't getting much screen time. She barely was. To me, that's a compliment. If you're saying you were barely on the screen and you still crushed it enough to get the award, why are you trying to throw daggers at the writers? Where's the where was your manager at this point? What's going on?
Yeah, where's your PR person?
Your PR person, right? Like what would you say?
Yeah,
what would you say to that?
I feel like her biggest mistake is that she just did not have a good PR training, good PR person before, and she was just saying literally whatever was in her head, whether it was right or not. Like because so many things, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And people get turned when people think that you have an attitude or like a snotty disposition, or people tune out so quickly and take everything that you say as a negative, whether it is or not. It's just because of your tone, because they don't want to hear it. They're like, oh no, I'm not dealing with this kind of trash. But when you're mad, I think it's hard to like bring it down from a level 10, but also you have to stop and think, okay, is this worth going to level 10 about? Is this something I'm going to want someone to bring up 3 years from now? Like, remember when you went nuclear about blah, blah, blah?
Yeah. Katherine Heigl seems like the type of girl that's always taking those earrings out and like, okay, wait till you see.
Yeah. Just ready to scream. Yeah. And some people are like that. I mean, there's men and women who just fly off the handle at everything. They say exactly what's on their mind. And I know that people like really value that no filter thing, but sometimes it's like, oh, come on, a little bit of a filter.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
little bit of a filter.
And she's probably learned that there's too many butthurt, sensitive men out there in Hollywood that have too much power to and I'm not saying like don't fight against the if they're wrong, if they're in the wrong, and what you're saying is right. If she was willing to to put her career on the line because she was fighting for something that was just and in her mind, like you said, in her mind, maybe that's how she felt. But like you said, it's the way you say it. There was probably a way to do it. Maybe right after we just wrapped the film and we're on your first interview. Maybe that's not the time to.
Well, and also I feel like it's like just a lack of having like social cues and awareness of that you should not be saying that. Like some people just don't understand what is proper conversation and what isn't. Right. So I don't know. It just seems really wild to have just had a very like that film was really successful. Yeah, people it was. And and I read some of her interview. She did mention that, and you're right. I believe she's had some time to reflect on it. But I do agree that that as long as she was blacklisted, I think that was too much. That I feel like she is a talent that deserved her second chance should have came a lot sooner than it did. But I think so too. But I think she also could learn that you got to pick your battles. Not everything is worth going to war over. Some things definitely are. There are some things that are just completely wrong, and you got to fight for them. Right. But also if you accept. In entertainment, to me, I feel like if you accept a project and it turns out to be exactly what you accepted, but now you don't love it anymore, that's nobody's bad but yours. Yeah. You know who recently, it wasn't that recent, but Jim Carrey did a similar thing where in his personal life, he was trying to be more nonviolent and things like that. And he played a character in the sequel to Kick-Ass, who was a very violent person. He didn't use guns or anything like that, but he was very, very violent vigilante. And he refused to promote the movie. He said, I'll do the movie, but I won't promote the movie. I'm like, well, no, that the contract says you do both. So it's stuff like that. Well, even that, it's like if that was some kind of agreement that if the studio did agree to that, then that's one thing. But you can't say, yeah, I'm going to do this movie, and I understand that it requires promotion, PR trails, all those little interviews with Entertainment Tonight, all that crap. Right. But to me, it's really hard I understand that entertainment is a very difficult business and people put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. I'm not saying it's very hard work, but you get paid so well to do that work that you kind of need to just like suck it up. I feel like. Right. I'm not trying. I was literally about to say that. I'm not trying to put. See, there's somebody in the chat room. I had to double check and make sure that we that we were being heard, and we are. So far, we are. But
I'm not trying to say shut up and dribble like to LeBron James.
No, and I'm not saying it in like any kind of sexist way, a racial way, anything like that. But if you know the parameters and there's nothing, you know, that goes against your moral guidelines to live up to those expectations, and you still don't want to do it, but you also want to make $35 million a year, like you kind of can't have it all.
Right. Exactly. It's and going back to the Jim Carrey example, I don't like it. Okay, you read the script. You knew what the pitch was, and the second you filmed the movie and cast the checks, you go, oh, by the way, that other stuff that I agreed to, I'm not going to do that. No, you can't do that.
I wonder how common this actually is, because I can't think of a time where I've heard of somebody like boycotting, promoting something that they were in. Not
common. Not if you want to have your life destroyed by a movie studio who will sue you and but I guess Jim Carrey was one of those guys who knew or felt he could kind of get away with it. Because he was preaching a whole non-violent thing and whatnot. Okay,
he's also at one of those stages in his career where he could never do anything again, and
he'll be financially fine.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like he can. It's less risky for him to do things like that.
Yeah. But at the time, Katherine Heigl at the time I don't think she was it was at the very beginning. So like you said, maybe it was something that she just felt she couldn't be quiet about, but but doing it on the first, if you're in the first interview and the question is,
but I still don't even understand what the huge gripe was. You just didn't like your character. I don't understand, because I mean,
I imagine the question was, so what do you think about Knocked Up? Why should we watch it? Oh no, I hated my character. And I'm like, if that was what happened, it's like, what are you doing? No.
Exactly. That's what I mean, it's been forever since I saw that movie, but I can't, when I'm thinking back in my head, like there's not one thing that sticks out of my head where I'm like, oh my God, that character was a nightmare. I mean, she was a little bit annoying, but that was kind of that was who she was supposed to be. She was like super anal and he was trying to get her to relax. That was the whole.
Exactly. And that was that character. And I think I did see the other movies as well, 27 Dresses and stuff like that, because like you said, she was one of the go-to, the it girl. Like there was, at the time there was Reese Witherspoon, and it looked like it was about to become Katherine Heigl. It looked like she was the next, like the highest paid actress, in Hollywood. But then all of a sudden it just
before they just started talking about this recently, I never realized that she was blacklisted. Like you never know who just retires, who doesn't get booked anymore. You never know what happens to these celebrities. They just kind of like fade off.
They kind of fade away. Yeah. I saw her again recently on a show I love to watch called Suits. That was on USA.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
She came in on the last 2 or last 3 seasons as one of the new lawyers, and killed it. She crushed it. I loved her character. She was tough. Now the character that reminds me of like how she was probably being perceived as being difficult and whatnot. This character was all of that. In your face. I'm gonna say I don't care what you do, what you say. Yeah. I'm gonna take you down. So this was perfect. That's probably one of the reasons why she took the role, and I loved it. And I think it led into more new projects that she's going to, like this new Netflix series that she's coming into. But yeah, got about a good. Maybe 10 years, getting on to 10 years. Yeah, you didn't see her at all. I mean,
like I said, I've always liked her and stuff. So I hope that this show is, because I feel like Netflix, it can really revive somebody's career, right? Yeah. Like if you have a good Netflix show, people forget everything that happened.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people were ready to forgive Kevin Spacey because they were like, "Come on, we need another season of House of Cards."
Like, they thought about it. Now, oh my God, that was so messed up. How people were like, "Yeah, screw that guy. That guy sucks." And then when they saw the last season, they're like, "Oh, they should have maybe gotten a cameo." It's
I know they're like, they couldn't have brought this information out like right after the season wrapped. But I mean
that's what no, you're right. As I know what you mean. You are not wrong. That's exactly what some people were saying. It's not like they were trying to justify or defend what he's accused of. Yeah. It was just good
Netflix show.
The show suffered so bad. Yeah. But you're right.
Having a hit Netflix series is, I feel like it's better than having a hit movie these days.
Yeah. It's
Because the people are seeing you on a, either they're like binge watching it or, catching a couple episodes here or there.
right.
And I feel like people just get way more hooked in.
You only really have one shot with a movie, that 2 hour
Right.
time frame to make that impact and to be set in the minds and the hearts of these fans. But with a TV series, you could have a bad couple episodes, but it could still build. And the next thing
Right.
you
You
know,
could have 7 to 13 episodes to tell the story and
and then all of a sudden you're like a member of the family. You're every week you're coming into these people's homes,
Right.
and they're becoming a beloved, sought after character. And then the scandal happens, and then you're like, Uncle
Uncle
Richie?
Just not be a creepo, and none of your skeletons will come out of the closet. It's really simple, but people still can't seem to do it.
There's the valuable lesson. There's Amanda Wilson's valuable lesson of the week. You wanna not be accused of sexual harassment? Don't sexually harass anybody. How about that?
It's really simple. I know it's one of those things that it's like if it was a snake, it would have bit you. It's like it's right there. The answer is right there.
Yeah. So a little less that, a little more, Netflix, and so let the audience take care of the Netflix and chill part. You guys just chill. Just do the job.
Wait, what's her new show called again?
Firefly Lane, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Firefly. I can't tell if it's a comedy or if it's just a drama. I saw one trailer that made it feel like a straight up comedy. One of the actresses from the old TV show, what was that? Scrubs, who played the doctor in Scrubs.
Oh, I love Scrubs. Yeah.
I forgot her name. The blonde
star.
She's co-starring with Katherine Heigl in Firefly Lane. So you got a Grey's Anatomy and a Scrubs, two doctors from those two together. I felt like the comedy wrote itself. But it looks like it's a drama. So I'm like, I'll check it out. I'll check out a couple of episodes, see if I'm into it. Maybe I'll do a review on it. But wow, we went that. I guess that's why they wanted us to talk about this on the show. We went on about that. That was our thoughts about everything that's going on with the whole Katherine Heigl situation. What do you guys think? Was her blacklisting from Hollywood? Was it a little too much? Did they lay it on a little thick for her? Are you glad to see that she's finally now starting to chip away from all that and shed all that stuff that was happening in her past, and she's starting to get work again? I'm excited seeing her back on the screen. Like I said, I loved her in Suits, and hopefully I'll like what she does from here on. And just let me know what you guys think, and put it in the box below, and we'll talk about it. Maybe some more on We Got Your Mail. So speaking of We Got Your Mail, we're not going to do We Got Your Mail this time because we already did it. And with me and Amy, Amanda is here to, like I said before, help us pick up what I dropped last Wednesday. Again, guys, I'm sorry about that. I humble myself before you and beg your forgiveness, but I'm not going to apologize too much because I'm going to take a cue from Katherine Heigl and be like, I say what I want, I do what I want. Like I said what I said. No, I get so upset at myself when stuff like that happens. I'm gonna be thinking about this I'm gonna be waking up screaming for the next.
I know that last episode.
I can't.
And those are always the best ones too.
Oh my God, me and Amanda had such a great conversation. I mean, she got so passionate about calling me out and telling me how wrong I was. She made me cry just by using her words. You missed it. You missed a great episode. I cry easily. I'm a crier. Well, that's just me. But guys, that's the show. Appreciate you so much, Amanda. Everybody, I wish I had a live studio audience. I'm always claiming that's here to cheer you on here because I feel like this was great. I wish I could have you back on the show again. I don't know how this experience was for you. Maybe on your next interview, on your next podcast, you might. I just worked with this Chris guy.
Yeah,
I didn't like my character.
Listen, I'm not even promoting this because I was not happy with my character development. The director smokes weed all the time. It's like, I'm not doing this.
Oh, you could see that?
No, I was thinking of Seth Rogen.
Right. Well, let us know. Tell us, everybody, about a little bit about you and where they can find you online if they want to reach out to you.
So I'm Amanda Wilson. I'm a stand-up comedian when COVID isn't, going across the land. I am online at Amanda AMANDUH_Wilson on Instagram and Twitter. I have still not joined TikTok because that's my one piece of land that I'm like, I'm staking my claim. I'm not going here, but who knows? In 3 months, I might be there. We'll see. Awesome. And you guys know me. If you want to reach out to me, it's Chris Fagan
1980 on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and in your hearts. That's right. I'm always there. And guys, like I said, Talking Through the Medias was brought to you in front of a live studio audience for Soul Glow. A woman. Guys,
Well, thank you again for having me on. I really had a good time.
Oh no, I appreciate it. It was awesome. It was great. I thank you for helping me pick the show back up and where I messed it up and dropped it from earlier this week. So anytime, you guys, if you want to see more Amanda Wilson here on the, am I pointing the right way? The Amanda Wilson right there. If so, like I said, look her up on her Instagram, on Twitter, follow her, support her YouTube channel, her podcast. She does a lot of great work, very funny, as you guys could tell. Like, I mean, luckily she didn't like target her comedic skills against me and make me cry. Like,
no, I'm nice.
But like I said, she's very funny. I hope you return and come back again.
Yeah, I'd love to. We'll work it out.
Let's work it out. All right. That's the show, guys. Like I said, put it in the box below. Let us know what you guys think at all time, and we will always keep talking about your thoughts, your comments, your concerns, and maybe on upcoming episodes. I'm Chris Fagan. That's Amanda Wilson, and we'll see you guys next time.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.